Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. I have noticed a trend in my makeup routine lately. I have been craving this specific eyeshadow palette all over again. I started using this when it launched and like through the winter, and then I kind of like stopped using a lot of eyeshadow because I had a baby, so I wasn't really doing makeup that much, and I started to use this like a week and a half ago and I haven't put it down. I'm in love with it all over again. It's the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. I feel like I've done like a green look on my channel before, and lately I've been doing a really simple look using this one all over the eyes for every day, but I wanted to like dip into this again, see what else I can create with this, because I figured if I'm still loving this, that maybe someone out there is also loving this, or maybe you have it and you need some more inspiration. I don't know, it's rare that I fall back in love with an eyeshadow palette the way that I have with this one, so I really wanted to like take advantage of the situation and just do an eyeshadow look. Like, it's been forever since I've just sat down and focused on an eye look. I feel like I've been doing very simple eye looks lately. It's been more my style, I guess, just do something quick in the crease and then like a little glitter topper. But I am just like ready to be inspired by something a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go in with my Givenchy concealer. I've been really loving this. I bought this during the Sephora sale, the Prisme Libre concealer, and it's really an incredible formula. It's so good. I did my brows off camera. Normally I would use like an eyeshadow primer, but we're gonna go more classic with the concealer and powder method for the eyelids today. I'm gonna take a bit of my Huda Beauty powder just to prep and set the lid slightly. Just a light layer so it's not too tacky. I'm wanting to do something completely different than what I've done in the past with this palette. So I'm leaning toward either like a super pink look or a super like brown look using some of these brown tones or like this color. So, which one should I do? I kind of want to see what it's capable of as far as like a more, night out type of a look. While I'm thinking about it, let's just start at the basics. So we're gonna start with the shade Lucy, which is a really great kind of cool toned greenish brown. It kind of pulls green. There's like a sage undertone to a lot of the neutral shades in here, like a sagey gray, I guess. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start there because I know I wanna use this as my transition shade. And then we'll kind of just build. Who knows what direction I'm gonna go. I just wanted to play with eyeshadow today. And I'm not kidding you when I say I've been like craving using this palette. Do you guys ever get that way with makeup? It seems kind of dramatic to say that you're craving using a certain product, but that's what happened to me. So here we are. This is a gorgeous transition shade. Okay, now, I'm not usually one to do like shimmery shades on the outer edge of the eye, but let's try it. I'm gonna go in with the shade Maxi, and we're just gonna start building up a little bit of definition on the outer edge of the eye. So I'm gonna start by going right here against the lash line and then working it into the outer crease a little bit. Again, I usually use more matte shades in the crease, but we're just playing today, so we'll see where this takes us. I'm taking the first brush that we used with the transition color and kind of just going right over the shimmer shade, just for an even blend. All right, I really want to try out, I don't think I've used this color all over the lid anyway, the shade Oscar right here. Really pretty, just taupey brown. I'm wanting this to kind of be the center of the eyelid. Look how stunning that is. I think that's what I love about this palette, is it kind of offers you a little bit of everything, and especially if you're more of a cool toned lover like I am, I just feel like it's so flattering. And you have the option to do something super colorful, which I typically do dip into like the greens in here because it's just the fun colors that kind of pop out initially. But it's such a wearable palette besides the greens. And even the greens are actually really wearable. They are very flattering. I'm actually surprised. When I first tried this palette, I wasn't sure how often I would use it. And once I tried the green colors specifically, it was actually surprising how flattering and wearable it is, at least on me. And it's like kind of my color story preference or undertone preference, so. Okay, really, really love that color too. I kind of want to smoke things out a little bit more. I'm trying to decide, do we bring in a little bit of the greens, or I think I'm just gonna keep it kind of brown right now. We could add a pop of something on the lower lash line maybe. I'm gonna take the shade Jazzy, and I'm gonna take that on the brush we were using with that outer shimmer shade, and I'm wanting just a bit more depth on this outer corner of the eye. So I'm just adding that in. So many of the colors in here are like standalone show-stopping colors. I feel like you could use literally every single one as like a one and done eye color all over the eyes if you wanted. I'm really not used to using shimmers on the outer portion of the eye. I usually keep it matte, but it's looking really luxe actually. I really like that. My favorite color in this palette for sure is this one right here, the shade Flutter. It is such a beautiful like glitter topper color. So I'm gonna pop that in the inner portion of the eye. It's so beautiful and magical. I love it. This is the one that I've been wearing kind of by itself all over the lid, but of course it adds something special to a more smoky look too. You know what might be pretty? I just had an idea in my head. I might take one of these green shades, like one of the deeper greens, and do a little shadow liner on the edge of the eye just to add a bit of color without it being too much. Not that it would be too much, but I really wanted to kind of see how neutral I could make this palette since it initially looks like a super colorful palette. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna take the shade Evergreen, which is the deepest green up at the top. And let's see, I'm just gonna start with just the brush. I think this is one of her cream to powder formulas. I could be wrong, but maybe it's not. Yeah, it's kind of more dry. So I'm gonna take my setting spray. This is the Cali Ray one. Spray that on the brush to kind of make it a little bit more of a liquid formula. And I'm gonna pick that up on the brush. Let's do a little subtle green liner. This is really pretty. I feel like it's a detail that you wouldn't notice right away, but honestly, that's one of my favorite things to do about makeup. Like, it's the little details that maybe not everyone will notice, but if they do notice, it's like a really special touch. I really like that. It's even more subtle on camera, but I feel like in person, that hint of green is really pretty. I'm feeling like adding a little pop of something. So I'm gonna take Palladian, I think is how you say that, right here. It's like a mint green, really light shimmer shade, which I thought would be kind of cute as the inner corner highlight to add a little something interesting there as well. I'm just cleaning up the lower lash line with a makeup wipe, and then I'm just gonna take my fingertips and kind of pat down the edges of the eye. Okay, now we're gonna do some mascara. I've got my Rare Beauty mascara here, so I'm just gonna quickly do a bit of this on just the top lashes for now. I'm gonna do a really quick makeup look and then we'll make sure to get back to the eyes quickly. So I'm gonna use the Osea Atmosphere Protection Cream. I love this underneath makeup. So I'm just gonna use that as a primer, even though it's a moisturizer. And I actually love to use this as my skincare routine too. Let's see. I feel like this is glam, but it's also fresh. So I'm thinking of using this right here, the Nabla Skin Realist foundation. This gives really nice coverage, but it looks very skin-like and has a very skin-like finish. And I feel like something like that would pair nicely with an eye look like this. I don't know, in my head anyway. I'm gonna use the Givenchy Prisme Libre Concealer underneath the eyes as well. And then I'm just gonna set the face with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. This one is the shade, what is this? Sugar Cookie. Let's warm up the skin a little bit. I've got this sitting on my desk, so I'm gonna use it again. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer. Again, I wanna keep things pretty fresh on the face, so just taking a fluffy brush and like doing like a light bronze versus like a full-on sculpt of the face. It's gonna keep things looking a little bit more fresh. Something about this eye look is making me want a white waterline, which I feel like is pretty stark and intense, but I don't know. I'm feeling like doing a little bit of a 60s vibe. So I'm gonna take the REM Beauty eyeliner. This is in the shade So Mod. Okay, I just ran that through the waterline. And now we're gonna start playing with some of those same colors. Starting with the shade Lucy, I'm gonna take that on a more flat brush. And I'm just gonna go across the entire lower lash line with this. Then I'm gonna take the shade Oscar, which was that kind of taupey gold or bronze. I'm gonna go across the entire lower lash line with this as well. But this color I'm keeping a little bit more tight to the waterline. Part of me wanted to do like a pop of color on the lower lash line, but I feel like I really wanna just hang tight and see how wearable I can make this, or how neutral I should say. I feel like this palette again is wearable, but I wanna see how neutral I can make it. I'm taking what's left on the angled brush that we used for the kind of green eyeliner, and I'm just connecting that on the very outer edge. So it's a very subtle detail. And then take a bit more of that inner corner color, which is Palladian right here, just on my pinky, kind of brightening up the inner corner a bit more. I'm gonna take, I know this is kind of extra, but I'm gonna use my Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara to really kind of like nestle into the lower lashes. I'm kind of wanting these to be a little bit piecey. So I'm purposefully taking my fingernail and kind of connecting some of those lower lashes a bit. I actually really love how this is looking. I'm gonna take, let's see, let's do some blush. I'm gonna take the Kylie Cosmetics Lip and Cheek Glow Balm. This is in the shade Feelings Neutral. Just a really nice neutral blush, like it says. I'm just gonna take my finger and start to just blend it into the skin. This blush literally blends itself out over powders too, which is actually insane since it's a cream. I've never had an issue with it like bunching up or looking uneven. It's just so foolproof. I love it. I just wiped off some foundation that was on the lips. I'm gonna take the MAC Stone lip liner and just gently line the lips with this. I'm also kind of like taking my finger and blending that out so it's not a super harsh line, just a soft definition. And I've never tried this on the lips, I don't think, but I'm going to. I'm gonna take that same Kylie Cosmetics Lip and Cheek Balm, same shade, and just kind of press this on the lips. I'm taking my sponge and kind of just going around the blush a little bit. And I'm trying to decide if I want highlighter. I don't know if I do. While I think about it, I'm gonna assess the situation and add just a bit more of that L'Oreal bronzer to the forehead. And I'm adding just a little bit more of the Flutter shade, like my favorite color in the palette, just for an extra boost of that sparkle. You know what? I wanna use a highlight, but I need to go grab it. I don't think I have it on my desk. Because I was thinking to myself, like I wanna keep with the healthy skin theme. What better way to keep with the theme than using this? This is the Say Beauty Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. The teensiest bit goes a long way. So I just took a little bit of that on the back of my hand. Look how pretty. Yeah, this is gonna be perfect. And then I pick it up with my sponge, and then I'm just gonna tap this on the very high points of the face for like a balmy, fresh glow. No sparkles, just a healthy lit from within glow. I'm gonna take a little bit more, just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna kind of pop it on the apples of the cheeks a little bit for an even more fresh look. I'm also gonna take a little, actually I'll just use my sponge. Just kind of bounce that down the center of the nose slightly and a bit above the brow, just for like an all over healthy look. I really love how this looks. I feel like the white eyeliner, maybe I should have gone with a nude, but honestly, whatever. We're just here to play with makeup, so I actually think it's kind of fun and kind of like helps with the more mod inspired eye look. So now I feel like everything else looks the way I want it to. The skin looks fresh. So we're gonna take my Cali Ray Surf Proof Setting Spray and lock in the whole look. Just gonna spray that all over. Love this setting spray, by the way, it's so good. It smells good too. Once that's almost dry, I'm gonna go in with my sponge. I'm gonna make sure it's the side that didn't have the glowy stuff all over it. So I'm gonna use like a clean side and just press that into the skin. Normally I go in with like a powder in the T-zone, but I might just leave it as is. Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of what's left on the powder brush in between my brows. I don't like that and the sides of my nose to be too oily, and my chin. Okay, well, I put a little powder, but I want the rest to be really fresh, so I didn't use too much. Now we just need a little brow gel, so I'm just gonna take my Benefit brow gel just to lock those brows into place. All right, you guys, there you have it. There's the completed look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette again. I think this is so wearable. I think it's so beautiful, so flattering. This is such a perfect palette if you're somebody who wants to kind of explore with color, but you don't want a full colorful palette. I feel like this type of a look is so neutral. I mean, you could wear this anywhere, but you still have very fun color options to play with, and it's subtle color, so it's not going to be something that's like insanely obvious. It's just like a little bit of fun. This is truly one of the most beautiful and shocking palettes to me, just in the way that I love it so much. I don't know, this color story seemed a little intimidating when I first got it, but every time I use it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful, wearable, soft, but like impactful and inspiring palette. I don't know. I love it so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed seeing me use this palette again. Let me know if there's other eyeshadow palettes that you guys are into that you'd like to see me do more looks with, because I'm kind of wanting to like dip into more eyeshadow looks and kind of play around and just get inspired by some colors. So let me know if there's other palettes you want to see me use, or if you want to see me use this palette again, let me know. But I definitely had fun creating this look, so I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie. I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you.